The thinker only responded to what addressed itself to him. In der Region, in der alles, was gefunden word, im Licht der Ursache-Wirkungsbeziehung dargestellt word, kann selbst Gott seine Heiligkeit und Herrlichkeit und all die Geheimnisse seiner Distanz verlieren. Is the earth in our head, or do we stand on the earth? What is decision anyway? Das Nichts nichtet. For words and language are not wrappings in which things are packed for the commerce of those who write and speak. It is in words and language that things first come into being and are. In no way can it be uttered, as can other things which one can learn. Rather, from out of a full, coexistential dwelling with a thing itself, as when a spark, leaping from the fire, flares into light, so it happens, suddenly, in the soul, there to grow, alone with itself. Nobody will deny that there is an interest in philosophy today. But is there anything at all left today in which man does not take an interest, in the sense in which he understands \interest \? A giving which gives only its gift, but in the giving holds itself back and withdraws, such a giving we call sending. How one encounters reality is a choice. We still by no means think decisively enough about the essence of action. The human being is not the lord of beings, but the shepherd of being. Turning away from a flight from death, you see a horizon of opportunity that puts you in a state of anticipatory resoluteness with solicitous regard for others that makes your life seem like an adventure perfused with unshakable joy. The term being does not define that realm of entities which is uppermost when these are articulated conceptually according to genus and species. The universality of being transcends any universality of genus. Der Mensch versut vergeblich durch sein Planen den Erdball in ein Ordnung zu bringen, wenn nicht dem Zerspruch des Feldwages eingeordnet ist. What could be more alien to the lost in the manifold world of its concern, than the self which has been individualized down to itself in uncanniness and been thrown in the nothing Pessimism negates the existing world, yet its negating is ambiguous. It can simply will decay and nothingness, but it can also renounce what exists and thus open a path for a new formation of the world. As the ego cogito, subjectivity is the consciousness that represents something, relates this representation back to itself, and so gathers with itself. The small are always dependent on the great. They are small precisely because they think they are independent. The great thinker is one who can hear what is greatest in the work of other greats and who can transform it in an original manner. Nur noch ein Gott kann uns retten. And so man, as existing transcendence abounding in and surpassing toward possibilities, is a creature of distance. Only through the primordial distances he establishes toward all being in his transcendence does a true nearness to things flourish in him. Whatever can be noted historically can be found within history. Nothing religious is ever destroyed by logic. It is destroyed only by the God's withdrawal. Only a God can save us. Expelled from the truth of being, man everywhere circles around himself as the animal rationale. To be a poet in a destitute time means to attend, singing, to the trace of the fugitive gods. This is why the poet in the time of the world's night utters the holy. Through the old word born, we find the answer. Ich bin really means I dwell. The way in which I am, the manner in which we humans are on the earth, is buon, dwelling. To be a human means to be on the earth as a mortal. It means to dwell. What seems natural to us is probably just something familiar in a long tradition that has forgotten the unfamiliar source from which it arose. And yet this unfamiliar source once struck man as strange and caused him to think and to wonder. If in Nietzsche's thinking the prior tradition of Western thought is gathered and completed in a decisive respect, then the confrontation with Nietzsche becomes one with all Western thought hitherto. To say philosophy originates in wonder means philosophy is wondrous in its essence and becomes more wondrous the more it becomes what it really is. A man's first bond is that which ties him into the national community. We do not have a body, rather, we are bodily. Thought has the gift of thinking back, a gift given because we incline toward it. Das Fragen bauten einem Weg. Every valuing, even when it values positively, is a subjectivizing. It does not let beings be. Rather, valuing lets being be valid solely as the objects of its doing. The critique of the highest values hitherto does not simply refute them or declare them invalid. It is rather a matter of displaying their origins as impositions which must affirm precisely what ought to be negated by the values established. In everything well known, something worthy of thought still lurks. Why are there beings at all instead of nothing? The Fuhrer alone is the present and future German reality and its lore. Learn to know ever more deeply from now on. Every single thing demands decision, and every action responsibility. Because it is more essential and older, the destiny of being is less familiar than the lack of God. A resounding of the authentic word can arise only from silence. True time is four-dimensional. Nietzsche did track down Platonism in its most covert form. Christianity and its secularizations are thoroughly Platonism for the people. What was Aristotle's life? Well, the answer lay in a single sentence: he was born, he thought, he died, and all the rest is pure anecdote. We ourselves are the entities to be analyzed. Tell me how you read and I'll tell you who you are. We would like only, for once, to get to where we are already. Profound boredom, drifting here and there in the abysses of our existence like a muffling fog, removes all things and men and oneself along with it into a remarkable indifference. This boredom reveals being as a whole. In order to remain silent, Dasein must have something to say. In the midst of beings as a whole, an open place occurs. There is a clearing, a lighting. Only this clearing grants and guarantees to us humans a passage to those beings that we ourselves are not, and access to the being that we ourselves are. Has Dasein as itself ever freely decided, and will it ever be able to decide whether it wants to come into /Dasein/ or not?